100 years without murder, 100 years without demonic possession, then this. I'm Sister Ada, exorcist and investigator. This is my testament to the massacre at St. Walpurgis Abbey. It is truth. Do not believe the lies of my accusers. Okay, cool. Sehr spannend. Sister Ada, welcome. I'm Virgil, Chief Inquisitor at St. Walpurgis Abbey. We may be in need of your talents as an exorcist. You can survey the evidence yourself, but I think you will agree. Has there truly been a murder? It seems so. A respected priestess, Mother Miriam, passed this morning under suspicious circumstances. A demon may be present, here, even now, possessing someone. What happened exactly? Mother Miriam was only recently appointed a successor to Abbot Gregory. This morning she came to the workshop to receive a coronet of office. Something went wrong with the installation? Yes. To put it mildly, the coronet oversurged, killing Mother Miriam. Brace yourself for the sight. Then the workshop operators, Gideon and Reuben, are the prime suspects. They're brothers, right? Yes, but it's highly out of character for Gideon or Reuben to kill someone. Even so, they were the only ones present when Mother Miriam died. Demons nurture our sinful desires and into unthinkable actions, Virgil. One of the brothers has surely been seduced by a demon. Whichever it is, I will unmask his lies and cast out the demon within him. May ain't so's will be done. Amen. To exorcise the demon, we must uncover 4 things. First, the suspect. We must identify which sinner is possessed by a demon. Second, the opportunity, when exactly was the murder committed. We can pinpoint the opportunity by analyzing each suspect's testimonies. Third, the means by which murder has been committed. The means can be found among the physical evidence at the scene of incident. Fourth, the motive of the murder, which can be found in their inner world, their sanctum. The motive will tell us which demon possesses the sinner. Very well. Let us begin our holy work. Sehr gut. Lass mal Mord aufklären. Genau, das untere, hier seht ihr schon die Timelines, die hatten wir auch schon im Trailer gesehen. Da können wir mal sehen, also da werden dann die Aussagen aufploppen und wir können dann die miteinander vergleichen, ob das denn von der Timeline so passt. Genau, wir können vielleicht noch mit ihm reden. Gideon claims that the incident was an accident, but Reuben claims that it's Gideon's fault. Are either of them telling the truth? Perhaps there's another possibility. Okay. Können wir Alt drücken? Nee. Dann reden wir jetzt erstmal mit Gideon. Wir haben einen Beweis gefunden, und zwar Gideon himself. This is madness. I will not suffer the injustice. I'm Gideon the Grand, the greatest cybernetician of our generation. I'm blessed. Ain't so guides these hands, you see. Oh shit, ja. Vielen. Danke, Gamehabler. Sorry, deswegen. Da habe ich natürlich verkackt, weil ich vergessen habe, das jetzt hier noch hinzuzufügen. Ich bin jetzt so lange schon gewohnt gewesen, dass ich immer einfach dass wir einfach sofort hier das Spiel hier zu sehen haben, weil ich ja Display Capture habe und jetzt plötzlich genau, ihr habt Sound wenigstens, das ist schon mal etwas, ne? Und genau, ich war es so gewohnt, dass man es einfach immer sieht, sobald wir loslegen mit dem Spiel, dass ich jetzt gerade nicht mehr gewohnt war, dass ich das jetzt wieder einstellen muss. So, warte, dann ist noch hier. Okay. So. Geheime Kommunikation. Gut. Genau, also da seht ihr jetzt auch schon, wie das dann alles aussieht. Ich finde es super, super cool stilisiert. Die Porträts sind auch sehr, sehr nice gemacht. Und genau. Your gaudy trinkets are hardly worth boasting about. Mother Miriam died by your hands, is that not so? No, why would I want to harm her? Mother Miriam was my patron. She loved me like a son. I did nothing wrong. The consecration chamber must have been compromised. Sister Ada is here to seek the truth, Gideon. You have nothing to fear if you are in if you are innocent. Please hear Gideon's testimony, Sister Ada, and judge for yourself if he speaks true. Testimony of a suspect is divided into events. You can access detailed description of events by hovering over them. You can manipulate the timeline marker to navigate to any moment in the testimony. Okay. Also, let's listen to what Gideon has to say. Mother Mary came to me for her consecration ceremony. I've performed this many times before, so I was confident. Das heißt, sie gucken sich hier dieses Ding hier an. Und das erscheint hier die Mother Miriam zu sein. Okay, und das ist Reuben. To prepare for the ceremony, I ordered Reuben to take Mother Miriam to the consecration chamber. So. Okay. Meanwhile, I adjusted the coroner's amplification at my work table and placed it upon Mother Miriam's head. Wait a second. Let's re-examine what he said about Miriam's arrival. Interesting. Gideon does not mention Reuben being present while greeting Mother Miriam. Let's select Miriam's arrival and ask Gideon about it. Okay. Ask. Good, I should remember that I can ask a suspect about any statement in the testimony. Were you alone when greeting Mother Miriam? Yes, I'm certain I was alone then. He insists that he was alone. I wonder if Reuben will corroborate this. For now, let's finish hearing the rest of his testimony. Okay, then, here. Meanwhile, I adjusted the coroner's simplification at my work table, then placed it upon Mother Miriam's head. Okay, das heißt, er geht da jetzt darüber, fummelt da rum und währenddessen machen Reuben und Mother Miriam irgendwas bei der Kammer. Okay. So, da ist sie. Sie lebt anscheinend auch noch. So, zack. Aufgesetzt. Er braucht da ein bisschen lang, aber okay. Drückt ihn zu. Okay. Dann kommt der nächste. We began by closing our eyes and praying together to Ein Sof. I thought I heard the chamber open, but didn't think of much of it. Ah, okay, jetzt sieht er nichts. Das heißt, hier könnte sich tatsächlich die Kammer geöffnet haben. Ja, wir sehen es hier auch. Wir können ja mal ihn fragen. You heard the door open? Perhaps I think I also heard footsteps. But it's a faint, vague memory, not to mention it's impossible. After all, Mother Miriam can't open the door from within. Reuben was probably working away on some new device or another. I must have imagined it. Was können wir ihn dazu fragen? What exactly did you modify? I modified the amplifier within to its maximum setting. To do so, I had to temporarily remove the limiter. But I made sure to replace it before taking it to the chamber. Okay. So, dann lassen wir weiterspielen. Genau, da geht die Tür auf. Das heißt, Reuben könnte halt wirklich reingegangen sein. Irgendwas mit Mother Miriam gemacht haben. Und dann, ja. Then I activated the consecration chamber and began the ceremony itself. The aether output was within safe ranges. Okay, sie scheint aber dann noch... Sie scheint nicht sich zu wundern, das ist ja überall Glas, das heißt, wir sehen sie. Ah, da ist Reuben. What makes you so certain that the ceremony was safe? Because I have performed this many times. Okay. Then it happened. Mother Miriam was killed, but it's impossible. I had everything under control. I've heard enough. Let's follow him. Leave him for now. Okay. Wow. Okay. Bam. So, dann fragen wir jetzt mal Reuben. Talk. An exorcist. Surely there are no demons here, though.
This was an accident, wasn't it? If Gideon is possessed, that would mean he did it on purpose. Horrible.
You're the elder brother, I see. Your name?
Yes, my name's Ruben Garamon. I'm responsible for the engineering and design of our implants.
How did Mother Miriam die exactly?
It was a completely preventable accident. Mother Miriam died because Gideon deliberately flouted the ceremonial guidelines for his own glory. Gideon may be flesh and blood, but he must take responsibility for his negligence. Let us hear what Ruben has to say. Keep in mind that Ruben's testimony may differ greatly from Gideon's version of events. If an event is corroborated by another suspect's testimony, it will be marked as verified on the timeline.
Okay. Let's listen to what Ruben has to say.
Mother Miriam came to us to receive a consecration ceremony, but she wanted something extravagant. Gideon suggested setting the coronet to have maximum 8 output. I warned him that doing so is highly dangerous.
Okay, interessant.
It contradicts what he said.
Okay, vielleicht müsste das jetzt vorbei sein.
Gideon convinced her to move forward with the ceremony anyway, since he was going to handle everything. I went back to my tasks.
This part of this testimony is rather long and repetitive. Let's move ahead to the next session. Try to stop the ceremony.
Ja, aber müssen wir hier nicht... Weil er hat... Also Gideon hat behauptet, dass Ruben jetzt hier rumbefehligt wird, aber Ruben hat das nicht gemacht.
Good, I was growing impatient now to observe the rest.
When Gideon activated the consecration chamber, I immediately felt something was wrong. I begged Gideon to stop, but he didn't listen. Then the unthinkable happened. Mother Miriam was killed. This was no accident. It's all Gideon's fault.
Okay, leave.
Now that I've heard the testimony from each suspect, let's think carefully.
Let's think carefully. There's only one truth to the chain of events this morning, and I doubt that either brother has told it to us. So we must rely on Ein Soph's greatest gifts to us, our minds. There are 3 ways we should consider what we've discovered. First way is deduction, since there can only be one truth if 2 things down the line, one or both of them are false. If Gideon and Ruben do not agree on something, someone is lying. Or if what they say do not match the evidence I find, then they must be lying. Second is induction. I should base my theory based on what I discover. If my theory does not align with any of the testimonies or evidence that I find, then I should discard it. If 2 theories are both possible, then I should prefer the one that has more information that supports it. That said, induction alone is usually not enough. Usually abduction. I must hypothesize what could have happened, filling gaps in information with my imagination. This is the fastest and most powerful way of thinking, but also the most fraught. I should engage in each of these 3 ways in order to uncover the truth.
Okay, also das Ding ist... okay, das hier ist gegeben, dass es wirklich passiert ist. Was ist das denn? Können wir schauen, was hier so...
What is this? The devil's herb. I know something nefarious is afoot. The abbey must be purified of its scent. I should dispose of it any that I find.
Okay, das könnte anscheinend ein... Ich glaube, das ist ein Dings. Aber ein Collectible. Ruben's workstation, let's consider. The coroner's blueprints. Valuable piece of physical evidence. A new entry is now added to your evidence panel, which can be found in the lower left of your display. There you can access detail. Okay, let's present them to the suspect in order to discover any contradictions. Okay, spare blueprints. Plans for restoring a relic that was recently brought to St. Paulgos by Father Augustine. Plans for constructing the Aether Coronet.
The purpose of the device seems to be to amplify the user's either output, the opponent's amplifier, casing and a limiter. Okay, was finden wir hier sonst noch so? Okay, new piece. Let's examine it now. Found near Mother Miriam's body. Parts of the amplifier component and bits of the casing have survived the explosion. Okay, was? Amplifier and casing, aber kein Limiter. Okay. Door button. Examine. Door controls. Twice this morning. Examine. Schauen. Control panel. Use to activate and control the consecration chamber. Usage records show that the aether output during the ceremony was well beyond safe ranges. Okay, scheint halt wirklich, dass Gideon Fuck-up gemacht hat. Limiter. Found in Gideon's workspace in pristine condition. Components required to safely install the coronet without causing an aether oversurge. Place a coronet in the recipient in the chamber. The full form of the recipient pray in silence. Begin the song to start modulating the aether. Intensify the aether output by bringing the performance to crescendo. Okay. Ich will dem Typen hier mal Zug. Ich will mal drüber sprechen. This is what I was working on during the ceremony. Father Augustine, a visiting scholar, asked me to help restore this relic. I'm quite proud of my work on it. It should be ready for tonight's mass. Okay. Curious, Ruben claims he went back to his workstation. What does Gideon say? Let's switch to his testimony. Gideon claims that Ruben opened the door to the consecration chamber. To Ruben. This unmasks Ruben's lie. Contradict. Dann klicken wir hier rauf. Present. Lies unmasked. Dum dum dum. Ruben Garamond, you did not return to your workstation after the discussion. Gideon ordered you to open the consecration chamber for Mother Miriam. Ordered me? Is that what he told you? Despite his delusions, Gideon is certainly not my master. I did open the chamber, it's true. I apologize for the mission. It's a regular part of my routine that has slipped my mind earlier. Okay. Ruben has amended his testimony. Let's examine open chamber. Good. This statement from Ruben's testimony is now verified for two reasons. Corroboration. Gideon's testimony confirms that Ruben opened the door for Mother Miriam. Specificity. It has a shorter time frame and describes a clearer set of events. I can assume that any verified statement like this is true. What's more, the contradictions weakened the suspect's resolve. His eye of providence glows, which allows me to enter his sanctum, a digital representation of his mind. Let's use his third eye to enter his sanctum and see what truly motivates the suspect. Okay. Was motiviert dich, boy? Ist ein Gläubiger. We only cracked the outer layer of his sanctum this time. Still examined the psychological evidence that we found. Interesting. This information will help me discern which statement to trust. It does. Okay. Let's quickly examine each statement and his testimony again. So, yes, okay. Since some of the statements are now supported by suspect's psychology, next I must find correlation between the suspect's behavior and existing demons. Let's open the demonology. Lucifer the Proud, the prince of demons and the eternal adversary of Ein Sof, manifest in ambitions and strong will, promising their heart desire, exchange for their soul. Beelzebub the gluttonous, simple-minded demon that debilitates the host, turning them into feral beasts. The host is compelled to consume strangers and filthier things, then nothing remains of the humanity. Sathanus, the vengeful, furious demon that stokes a simmering rage within the host, preys upon the fervent and the righteous, goading them to take matters into their own hands. Lotan the envious, playful but deceitful demon who slowly drives the host mad with whispers of their own inadequacy. The host blames others for their ill fortune until the apparent injustice drives them to take what is rightfully theirs. Okay. Also, es könnte Lucifer sein. Oder Sathanus, könnte ich mir vorstellen. Also Lucifer könnte halt sein, hier, falls er sich irgendwas anderes wünscht. Vengeful, falls er zum Beispiel die Dings nicht mag. Envious, falls er seinen Bruder beneidet und ihm das Ding in die Schuhe schieben will. The suspect is possessed. There should be a psychological evidence that has clear correlation with the demon. To obtain further psychological evidence, I must find more contradictions and present them to the suspect. Cool. Übrigens, es gibt ja auch wieder die Arena. Das heißt wieder ausgezeichnet. Fight in den Chat und ihr könnt wieder mitmachen. Now that I've heard the testimony and gathered evidence, I can accuse the suspect. Accuse him? To accuse the suspect, I must establish the opportunity, means and motive of the crime. I can try as many times as I wish, but there's only one true answer for each section. Let's try to establish the opportunity. Let's present a section of the suspect's testimony. When could I have done any of this? Yeah, here. Present. Good. If it's a valid answer, the suspect will be forced to admit they could have committed the murder at that time. Otherwise, the suspect will give a counter-argument as to why that is impossible. If I was in a chamber then, Gideon or Mother Miriam would have seen me. What about when Gideon and Mother Miriam were praying? I was still working at that time. Do I have proof that he wasn't? If I do, I should contradict him with it first before accusing him. During the ceremony, no one was inside the chamber other than Mother Miriam. Okay, return. Next, let's try to establish the means. For this I need to present physical evidence. Gideon was the one that operated the device who could have affected the chamber of Mother Miriam. Present. Good. Same as before, the suspect will accept my evidence if it's valid and deny if they can explain why I'm wrong. These blueprints prove that you have intimate knowledge of the coroner's inner mechanisms. Of course, because I designed and built them. Thus, you had the expertise to damage the coroner and sabotage the ceremony. Fair enough, but that only proves I could have done it, not that I actually did it. Well, let's establish the motive. Okay. Present. Good. If you your faith is what drove you to kill Mother Miriam. Why would you think so? If anything, my faith is to prove that I would not have hurt the priestess. Okay. Means I must investigate further. Let's cancel for now and leave the suspect. So. Können wir hierzu was fragen? What were you working on? I was restoring a ceremonial spear for tonight's mass. It is a magnificent relic. I think Abbot Gregory will be pleased with the result. Können mal dazu fragen. The other output most certainly was not within safe ranges. He's lying. what did you have to ask Gideon? Why not force him?
Could you open the chamber or push Gideon aside? Interrupting ceremony would have been more dangerous. Had I opened the chamber, the energy would have been let loose into the workshop. Had I pushed Gideon away, no one would have been controlling the energy gathered within the chamber. In either case, my action would have resulted in a greater catastrophe.
Okay. Können wir ihn da so fragen?
I saw Gideon pray before the ceremony began. He did that right at least. At least.
Can ich ihn dazu fragen?
Fortunately, I was occupied at the time and did not see exactly what Gideon did.
Okay.
Gideon didn't mention me being there. Typical.
Okay. Okay, wir haben ihn jetzt zu allem gefragt. Können wir ihn dazu fragen?
Are these the only pieces that were found in the chamber? I see the casing and amplifier, but the limiter seems to be missing. How could that be?
Well, there is a limiter on the mask.
You found it on Gideon's desk? It's no wonder the coronet exploded. The imbecile must have forgotten to replace it after adjusting the coronet's amplification. Despicable.
Okay. Okay, wir wollen aber noch tun.
For safety reasons, this button is the only way to open the consecration chamber's door.
Seltsam. Habe ich nicht selber mit der Arena teilgenommen? Egal, dann Gratulation, Igelchen, dass du jetzt ganz alleine die Arena gewonnen hast. So. Fragen ihn mal dazu noch.
This is a nightmare. I've always taken extra precautions so that nothing like this could ever happen. And yet, here we are. Mother Miriam would still be alive if Gideon was more careful. The control panel is used to modulate the ether output in the consecration chamber. Gideon always insists on performing the ceremony. You should ask him about it. The consecration ceremony is an installation process to augment someone's public speaking abilities. The consecration chamber is sealed during the ceremony to prevent any disruption. Sadly, it seems that wasn't enough this time. Poor Mother Miriam, killed by Gideon's arrogance.
Okay, cool. Das heißt, wir haben jetzt ganz viel Information von ihm. Dann reden wir doch jetzt mal hier wieder mit Gideon. Oh, und ich muss unbedingt was trinken. Okay. Dann sprechen wir mal hier auf. Good, I should remember that I can ask. Good. Is that Ruben's little child? He sure loves making things complicated. True art comes from the soul. Nothing in a mass of lines and wires expresses the beauty of the coronet. Well, this mess of lines would have probably helped you not forget about the limiter. Recognize the component, Gideon. It was found at your workstation. The coronet limiter? Impossible, but the explosion. How can it be undamaged? Someone must have removed it from the coronet prior to the ceremony. All but ensuring that the ceremony would end in a bloody mess. I had nothing to do with this. Why would I sabotage my own work? Why indeed? Können wir dazu fragen. Were you alone when greeting Mother Miriam? Yes, I'm certain I was alone then. Cues. Was nein, contradict eigentlich. I don't recall what he said or did at this time. As obviously Ruben agrees that Mother Miriam arrived at the time. What more is there? So, what exactly did you modify? Modify the implant. Well, ask. My masterwork, it was perfect fitted to Mother Miriam's brow. Even in pieces, you can see the sublime beauty of my artistry. But this can't be all you found. Where's the limiter? Limiter? That was a safety device. The Aether limiter was supposed to protect the coronet from an oversurge. Additionally, it was the crown jewel of the coronet. I suppose it shattered. Damnation? I don't know. Das heißt, warte mal, kann ich denn da nicht irgendwie kontradikten? Ich frage mal, warte hier. Oh, is that Ruben's little project? Whatever keeps him busy is fine by me. This was never supposed to happen. Mother Miriam, I'm so sorry. I can at least be comforted that her death was painless. I don't know. These door records show that the chamber was sealed during the ceremony. There you have it, proof that the ceremony was performed flawlessly. Perhaps. What's curious is that the door was opened twice. The first time was when Reuben opened the door chamber to let Mother Miriam in. The second time was just before the ceremony started, when you closed your eyes and prayed for guidance. With the one true God as my witness, I swear that it is the truth. I kneeled and listened for his voice. It must have been Reuben who opened it for some reason. He always skittish about the slightest possibility of malfunction. Okay. Dazu noch. How exactly do you operate this device? Do you press the keys, much like a normal organ? That is a crude way to phrase it. There's much artistry in the performance. The rhythm and the melody of my music affects how the energy is transferred into the implant. Okay, wir fragen ihn mal hierzu. Either output values are within safe ranges, but the control panel indicates otherwise. Let's present the control panel to an contradict. Present. So. You lied, Gideon. The ceremony wasn't safe. The control panel's records show that the either output values were in abnormally high ranges. Of course it was. Mother Miriam wanted the coronet as powerful as it could be. But I'm Gideon the Grand. With my talents, I had it under control. I made no errors. Something else went wrong. I just don't know what. Assess the maintenance, examine and maintain control. Good, the statement from Gideon system is now verified for 2 reasons. Specificity. Okay, can assume. Okay, das heißt, wir haben jetzt. So. Then I rose up, opened my eyes, approached the control panel, and was ready to begin. The chamber under control. Killed. Okay. I vaguely recall him coming up to me. I didn't hear him. I was too busy performing the ceremony. Okay. Did it work? I have no idea. That's not important here anyhow. Okay, das hier scheint alles verified. Das hier contradict. Mit dem Coronal Limiter. Present. I have no idea what you mean, or what it has to do with me. Es ist seltsam. Eigentlich hätte ich jetzt erwartet, dass ich da jetzt noch was von ihm rausbekomme. Achso, warte mal, wir können jetzt aber mal hier in ihn reinschauen. Was finden wir denn über den Ors? Narcissist. Okay. Craves attention, sincerely believes that he's the best cybernetician in the world. I'm indeed talented and I'm proud of it. Ain Soph granted me my gifts and I gladly used them for his glory. Mm-hmm. My brother idolizes that man. I don't understand it. Theories and histories pointless. Ruben is my dullard brother. He's practically my assistant. Okay. I'm Gideon the Grand, the greatest substitution of our generation. Pride is a sin, Gideon. I merely speak the truth, sister. The one true God has gifted me with extraordinary vision and skill. If anything, it would be sinful for me to hide my talents with false modesty. Mother Miriam was my guiding light. I would have done anything for her. I would never harm her, I swear it. Okay. Excellent, I've gone through the fundamental steps of investigating a murder. However, there's much I have yet to uncover about this incident. I should continue to find more information, contradict the suspect with them, and try to accuse the suspect. No one will tell me when I'm ready to accuse, that is entirely up to my discretion. However, there are no consequences for a failed accusation. Each failure will help me bring closer to the truth for the incident. So. Okay. What? Yes, I want to force him. Contradict. So, no. Kann ich ihn hierzu? Ich müsste mal zu den ganzen anderen fragen. Gideon is my delusional younger brother who seems to believe fame equates to talent. I'm ashamed by his recklessness today and furious that Mother Miriam would pay the price for it. Mother Miriam was our primary benefactor. Without her patronage, we wouldn't even have this workshop. I loved her. If only she hadn't trusted Gideon in his boasting, maybe she'd still be alive. My name's Ruben. I'm responsible for engineering and design of the implants. I'm the one who keeps things together, or I try to anyway. I hope this was just an accident. Father Augustine is a scholar of demons and technologies. He's made truly remarkable discoveries in his theoretical works. Okay. Können wir ihn beschuldigen? Als Opportunity. Present. Oh. I'm still working at a time. No prove that. If I do, I should contradict him with it first before accusing him. Kann ich ihn hierzu kontradikten? Contradict. Present. Ah. Ja, ich meine das hier natürlich. Lies unmasked. You test my patience, Ruben. Has your memory slipped once more? The door records show that the consecration chamber was opened twice today. Given that Gideon was praying during this time, only you could have opened the chamber. It's true that I opened the chamber again, just before the ceremony started. But my reasons, something about the chamber seemed unseemly. Given what happened to Mother Miriam, I felt vindicated in my fears. Tell me what you did in the chamber. So I opened this consecration chamber to verify that the coronet was in working order. What were you checking? To perform the consecration chamber safely, precision is critical. I wanted to make sure that the coronet was placed correctly on Mother Miriam. Okay. Everything seemed fine, so I returned to my desk again. What were you working on? Okay. Hm. Contradict. Don't follow your logic. Na, ich meine, wenn er der Blueprint, also wenn er der Designer von dem Ding ist, dann müsste er doch gesehen haben, dass der Limiter fehlt. Das ist gerade meine Logik. Und wie könnte er da sagen, so, ja, logisch, ja. Kann ich das hier nochmal präsenten? Nein. Okay. Hm. When I activated the consecration chamber, I immediately felt something was wrong. I begged Gideon to stop, but he didn't listen. What did you have? Achso, ja, das ist ja schon eh. Hm. Okay, leave. Das ist halt wirklich unpraktisch. Das... Haben wir noch irgendwelche Beweise? Irgendwas übersehen. Weil ich meine, wir wissen jetzt zum Beispiel, dass das Ding hier da liegt. Also irgendwer muss lügen. Und eigentlich... Achso, shit, warte mal, wir hätten hier Gideon nochmal Gideon reden können. Ich glaube, wir können tief in seine Psyche eindringen, weil wir wieder eine Lüge von ihm aufgedeckt haben. Envy. Okay, cool. Found in room sanctum. Why does Gideon get the credit for all the rooms? Huh? Me envious of Gideon. Unlikely. His artistry would be nothing without my designs. He doesn't know the first thing about how our implants actually work. All of this work is always shite, superficial. Why anyone gives him attention is beyond me. Okay, das heißt, wir könnten ihn als Opportunity checking the chamber, present. One way you sabotage the ceremony means to coronate this. These blueprints prove that you have intimate knowledge of the coronate's inner mechanism, of course, because I built and designed them. Fair enough, but that only proves I could have done it, not that I actually did it. How could I affect the chamber or Mother Miriam? Present. There was nothing faulty with the coronet itself. Indeed, the craftsmanship was flawless, as was Gideon's performance of the ceremony, but you removed the limiter from the coronet without Gideon's knowledge, which are coupled with the coronet's high amplification caused an oversurge. Gideon's arrogance may have endangered Mother Miriam, but you ensured that she would die from it. Mother Miriam was our patron, why would I want to harm her? Mother Miriam's death was merely a means to an end. Humiliation of Gideon. You envy your brother's success, you want his fame, his glory. Nein! Und das ist das Ende von der Demo. Shit. Aber ist cool. Okay. Also am Anfang habe ich noch so ein bisschen gestruggelt. Au, ist das laut geworden. Mit den Controls, aber jetzt hier am Ende habe ich dann doch irgendwie rausgefunden, wie man dann tatsächlich das Einzige, was schade ist, dass wenn ich das jetzt hier nochmal machen würde, dann wäre es vermutlich genau dasselbe und es gäbe keine Änderung. Also kein Random-Faktor, so ob denn mal der eine, mal der andere schuld ist. Was ein bisschen schade ist. Oh ja. So. Genau, also das fände ich jetzt noch richtig cool, wenn es tatsächlich das gäbe. Wenn man sagt, so, okay, mal ist der eine, mal der andere schuld und man muss tatsächlich herausfinden und nicht, man kann irgendwie Schema, also wenn man es einmal durchgespielt hat, dann geht es nicht nochmal. Oh ja, es ist ziemlich cool. So, drücken wir jetzt Escape. Nee. Settings. Genau, bisher ist auch nur auf Englisch verfügbar. Heute. Aber ja, so ist das halt. Genau, zu Lucifer Within Us, da bin ich auf jeden Fall definitiv interessiert, das dann mal zu spielen, wenn es dann tatsächlich mal rauskommt. Weil, also gerade so wie diese Timelines sind ziemlich cool, dass man die Leute befragen muss, herauszufinden, wie es jetzt war. Super nice.